Hello everyone, today we are going to implement a way to add layers into the widget stacks. That means here, let me show you. It would be easier if I just show the code and explain. So here I have this push widget in the HUD. Basically we are calling, let me show that function too. Basically we are calling in the widget layout this layer parameter, and I use it here to show the confirmation dialog. Here I'm using layer 1, but if I use layer 0, this is what happens. When I press quit, the main menu disappears and the quit window appears, because main menu is in the 0 layer, in the same layer as the quit confirmation dialog. So if I press no, my widget is closed, but the previous widget reappears activated. But the problem is I want to see the main menu while we activate the confirmation dialog. So that's why I implemented this layered system. Now here when I press quit, it appears. We are still using push widget and in the common UI way, and we are activating the widget, but we are not deactivating the previous widget because this appears on a separate layer. So this is what we are going to work on today: how to use how to create a layered UI using widget stacks. Okay, so before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I have done from my Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can access everything without any limits. So feel free to check it out. I'll leave the link in description below. And also, here is the full playlist of this series. Everything is explained and implemented from scratch. You can follow these episodes and implement everything by yourself too. So I'll leave links to everything in description below. And now let's get started with today's episode. Okay, first of all, let me show you the way I push content into the HUD. So this is the main menu, and in the main menu I have this HUD class which I use HUD main menu, and this one is using a base layout widget. Let me show that too. It's like this. It has this it only has this common activatable widget stack. So this is the stack that I push all my widgets. For example, in the main menu, the main thing I push into that is the main menu widget. Basically, I use this function to push the widget. Basically, it gets a reference to the base layout and call push widget. That is how I show the menu when I play the game, right here, like this. So this main menu exists in the widget stack of the base layout. So if I push another widget into the same stack, what's going to happen is the widget that is already existing in the same layout is going to vanish, and then the newly pushed widget is going to appear. So that is the main problem I want to address here. So to show what happens there, let me open the main menu. So here, when I press quit button, I have a separate widget. But let me show how it works first. Here, if I press quit, you can see this menu appears. But here, I'm not using the common UI way to show this additional widget. So that is done like this. This quit button on clicked. So basically I get this dialog box, which is another class, another widget. It's a user widget. So you don't see anything here because there is an animation. So basically like this. So the way it happens is I create that widget and I use this add to viewport, which is the traditional way of adding things into the viewport. for UI widgets. But instead of using this, I want to use push this. I want to use this push widget because I want to rely on common UI methodologies so that focusing on different widgets and navigating using gamepads and keyboard inputs, things like that would make it easier for me to rely on common UI way of doing things. So therefore, I'm gonna remove this. Okay. And now without that, if I press quit, oh, it is still appears. Sorry. This is show one button dialog. I was using show two button dialog. Okay, let me remove that. Now pressing quit will not appear, will not show the quit window. So that's because we are not adding it to the viewport. And also, I don't want to use this create widget. I want to use the push content and function that I have defined here, this push widget. So this is the same event, same function that I used to show the main menu as well. So here, now I'll get on player and get hard, and that's the interface event. This is the interface event where this one push widget. So we can call it without doing any casting. Let's call push widget, and I'll choose WPP confirmation dialog. I can't use it because this expect a common activatable widget, but this is a user widget. So let me change the type. Plus settings, common activatable widget. Compile. Now I should be able to use that. Here. Confirmation dialog. Okay. And I want to assign it to this variable too, but I can't directly do that because this returns a common activatable widget reference. So cast to confirmation dialog. Okay, now return it. So now we are using push widget. Now if I try the game here, wait, now it does appear. Now you see what happened is the widget that we had before disappeared, and if I press no, the previous widget is not appearing. That's because I think I'm not using deactivate widget. Let's check confirmation dialog. Here, this is the function that I call when I press yes or no. At the end, this is the reason I'm just calling remove from widget. Instead, I should have called deactivate widget. Okay, now let's see. Wait, it appeared. No, it went out and the previous menu appeared. So this is working, but the problem is I don't want to lose the main menu when I see this quit, or when I press quit again, I don't see that the next time. That's because after I deactivate the widget, I can't use it, but here I'm caching it with this variable. So if I already have a reference here, even though I deactivate this, I can't really make it appear again. So yeah, wait, and when I get an input dispatch yes or no, here let me on quick confirmation, I'll set I'll basically invalidate this variable. Okay. Alright. Now let's try again. Quit disappears. No, disappeared. Quit appeared. No, disappeared. Okay, so the flow is working. But the only problem I want to solve is I don't want to lose the previous widget I had. So for that, I want to use the layers. So here in the base layout widget, this is the game menu stack. Let me duplicate this and let's call it game menu overlay stack. Now let's go here under push widget. Here let's select this based on an integer value we pass here. So 0 would be the menu stack, 1 would be the menu overlay stack. And at the push widget pass this as a parameter, and let's call it layer index, or let's just call it layer. So 1 would be on top of 0 basically. And to be on safe side, I will clamp this between 0 and 1. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the HUD in here. So this function, which is implemented in the PPA HUD. Here let's add a new parameter. Where is the section that we had inputs? Let's see. Sorry about that, I forgot where it is. Integer and layer. Okay, there. Let's name this as layer. Wait, why can't I name it as layer? I just added a space. Okay, now here we can connect. By default, this will have 0, so not a problem. Now let's go to the main menu, and when I push the quit get dialog here, I'll define the layer as 1, so it should appear on top. Let's see, now it's on top. And no, quit, no. Okay, so yes, it quits. All right, so that's basically I want to cover in this episode, and I wanted to do that because in the next time I want to work on when I press B while we are in the main menu. B means the right face button in the controller in Xbox style controller. When I press B, I should see this quit button, quit options, and when pressing A would activate yes, pressing B would activate no. So I want to implement that with common UI inputs on the UI. So that's why I wanted to convert this part, this small section, as a pushed widget. Okay, so thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download here in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.